Good evening all. So we have come back with a very new topic and a very interesting topic. And today I'll be talking about time-based aggression. And time-based aggression is a concept that I have created, which basically about allowing other people to be aggressive towards your time and to try to eliminate part of your time out of the production process, out of the social process, out of the joy process. And this is not something that is people are thinking about in a negative way. This is something that people are thinking maybe we can consider this, and we don't understand it. And for countries that are really less developed, are not developed, and then sometimes they are in a situation where they are not they are in a situation where these people, if I may say, does not understand that other people might be taking part of their time, or they don't care if they took some part of their time or not. And in this topic I shall start. So time is the most important resource in so many places. The concept of time is the most significant element in the process of production. When we want to create a great products and a great production and a great contribution to our society, we have to preserve our time and control our time, and not to let our time slip doing things that we don't enjoy, or things we don't like, or things that we don't believe in. And for that reason, I think any kind of time loss is an aggressive situation. And this should be a culture that is embedded with people's minds. People should understand clearly that if you took part of my time, is like you are taking part of my money, or it's like you are being aggressive to my body, or it's like you are being aggressive to my livelihood. Because people does not understand this process, unfortunately, we end up with universities that some people spend in universities 7 years, some people spend in universities 4 years, some people spend in university 3 years. So instead of linking your time with production, they link it with time period. You have to spend this certain time. You have to, instead of writing things, you just have to stay with us for a long enough time in order for us to understand you. No, it's better that we understand your production and your productivity and your the units that you are trying to create, rather than we think about the time that you spent with us. Of course, trust needs a lot of time, and commitment needs a lot of time. And in order for us to understand others, we really need a lot of time, and we really need a lot of information. So there are different things that time can contribute to. And for countries that are really, let me say, in the developing world, the most important resource that everyone has is time. And they, for example, some people spend 7 years in the university, or 8 years. In other countries, the university is only 3 years. And people say, why I spend 5 years and other people end up work for 3 years and they end up in a better situation? Because these people think about production more than time. Think what you are doing in your time, rather than how much time you spend together. So what was the time you spent together? What are the things that you have directed towards your time to? And I think before thinking about time and production, because a lot of things you can't monetize a lot of things, and it's a fact. If you can't monetize a lot of things, you would end up doing a lot of work that you don't feel. You might end up doing a lot of sport, or end up seeing a lot of other people. But if you don't enjoy this, if the final production, or if the final contribution of the time spent did not contribute to your joy, to your happiness, then it has actually contributed to your sadness and to your misery. So this loss of time, waiting for a bus for a long time, random conversation, coming to others and talking with them in a very negative way, let me say, just spending time socializing without any meaningful cooperation, spending some time cooperation without an end result. People start to think that their time is being wasted without any benefit. And for that reason, I have to focus on one point. We have to establish a culture. Time loss is losing time from others is a hostile situation. It's an aggressive situation. People, if they take part of your time, either because you allow them to, or because they are aggressive, or because they are they actually let your time lost, let your time slip without any control from your side. You have to be sociable. You have to be talking to others. You have to be friendly. We will not eliminate our friendly process, our social process. We will not eliminate our productivity. We will not eliminate our human-based interaction. But what we need to focus on, that if we spend 10 hours sorting out a car accident, this is a time-based aggression. If we spend an additional 3 years in a university, while in another country people spend 3 years and we don't end up doing any useful situation, we don't end up producing something, this is a waste of time. So we really has to define with what are the situation where our time is being is being lost, and how it was lost, and who was responsible for the loss of our time, the aggressiveness towards our time, who was responsible for this situation. And we have to have clarity. Who's responsible for time-based hostility? Who's responsible for time-based aggressiveness? And if we understood this, we will be able to think for the future. And for that, we should establish a culture. Let me say, losing time is an aggressive situation. Don't let others take part of your time. Your time is an important resource. Keep it. Save your time. Save your time. Save your time. Save your time. And with this sentence, I shall end. Salam.